Jio AirFiber, because that is another news that is coming, will be launched in September, on 18th of September,
19th September.
19th of September, which is the
Ganesh
day of
Chaturthi.
Ganesh Chaturthi, the auspicious day as Mukesh Ambani called it.
Yes, absolutely. So 19th September, what is Jio AirFiber? Jio AirFiber, I believe, is India's answer to Elon Musk's SpaceLink.
Okay.
Right. And it's wireless internet connectivity. And we are not talking about wireless internet connectivity just as we know the cellular data which gets transmitted on our mobile phones. It's pretty much broadband 5G speeds on any devices,
Okay.
on any smart device that can link to an internet, and it's on the go. Well, not as much on the go. I think it is very pinpointed, so it targets premises like homes or offices individually. It's pretty much like broadband, but this broadband coming to you via satellite instead of coming through optical fiber cable networks. Now, what are the targets here? Again, we are talking big numbers. Anything to do with Reliance usually comes with very, very big numbers, right? So we are talking about 200 million new connections using Jio AirFiber starting 19th of September.
Okay.
So 200 million is the immediate target for Reliance Jio AirFiber. Now, what is the kind of capability to offer these services? I think Mukesh Ambani stated it fairly accurately. He said it takes about 15,000 connections a day right now when you talk about the wired connections coming into homes. That's the kind of capacity Reliance has. It can serve new connections or install new connections to a limit of 15,000 connections a day.
Okay.
It's a huge number, but juxtapose it against what Jio AirFiber can do. AirFiber can actually connect 1,50,000 premises a day. That is 10 times more capability or capacity than the cable network that we know Jio to have already, for which of course a lot of digging and a lot of laying of optical fiber cable networks, etc. was done. I think most of that infrastructure is still going to be in use because you would still be connecting internet from point A to point B, and thereafter there is a satellite that comes into picture. But we are talking about 10x the capacity of new connections.
Right.
So we've seen over the last 7 years, ever since Jio has been in action, we've seen how it has captured the market with a present day 7-year later capacity of only 15,000 premises a day. Imagine how it scales up if you're able to reach 1,50,000 households every single day as new connections. And the target of 200 million then of course seems fairly achievable. Now again, big words that always come from any Reliance AGM and those statesmanly like statements that come. Again, this is about democratizing AI, as Mukesh Ambani said.
Okay.
So artificial intelligence is not going to be limited to the elite few. Artificial intelligence is going to be democratized and every last nook and corner in this country would be able to access AI-driven products which require great processing power, processing capability, which will run seamlessly on the 5G network. And I think the data will be crunched at all the Brookfield partnered data centers which are coming up, in multiple cities. I think Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bombay to begin with, Mumbai to begin with. So all of this, I think, this entire backwardly integrated, forward integrated network is going to pretty much be the be all and end all of all telecom competition ever in India.
All right, telecom competition. Talking about competition, Chirag, there's hardly any, is there? 45 million subscribers is what Jio claims to have at this point in time. Almost 40% of the market share or 50% of the market share?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, it was about 35% or so, 35-36% plus.
35% or 40% of the market share.
One-third of India.
Of the Indian telecom market share. It's only likely to grow. So the fact that we are heading towards a duopoly, in fact we are already in a duopoly-like situation, Chirag, is all the more real.
Yeah, basically that is what we are heading for, right? So there are basically two big players which are actually dominating the market. And nowadays what has happened that it has become like electricity is basic necessity, the data has become basic necessity. But if you see worldwide, the content, for example, a semiconductor company has created lesser wealth than a software companies which uses that semiconductor, and said semiconductor seems to be more monopolistic business. So I think it is not the combination of only data, it is the combination of content, the data that you provide, the content creations. All this will actually, it is an ecosystem that has been created by the company, and in most of the cases, this industry is either duopoly or a triopoly kind of business. But actually, the end user or the end use of this connectivity or this infrastructure is actually a great space to look at once we establish all those networks. And yeah, it is a great to have all those kind of, because it is
Okay.
not about growth, it is also velocity of the growth. Now connecting this many people in a single day is a great achievement.
Absolutely, a great achievement there. We will have to, of course, keep tracking the trajectory of Jio as a telecom business.